Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of the absolutely most fascinating business transformations in modern tech history. How Spotify shifted from being just a simple digital music library into a deeply personalized platform. If you're a founder or a business owner, you're definitely going to want to take notes because consider this your masterclass in retention and branding. Now think back to 2008. Spotify's value proposition was super simple, right? Instant access to every song ever recorded. But, as you'll see, having access to millions of songs eventually became a massive problem all of its own. And that brings us to a pretty provocative question. How do you actually build loyalty when your product is literally infinite? Early on, streaming faced this huge hurdle called choice fatigue. Imagine suddenly having access to over 70 million songs. Sounds amazing, right? Well, actually, it caused total paralysis. People just didn't know what to play, and that led to user drop-offs. So Spotify realized that to make their products sticky, they had to step in and actively guide that discovery process. To fix this, they completely shifted their value proposition. Instead of just selling access, which as we know triggered that choice paralysis, they pivoted to selling understanding. By tapping into behavioral data, like, knowing exactly what you listen to at 6 a.m. versus what you put on at 10 p.m., they created this incredible personalized relevance. For any business owner watching this right now, the massive insight here is simply this. You don't win on inventory anymore, you win on relevance.
Section 1. Engineering emotional connection.
Behind the scenes, Spotify utilized some really deep psychological levers to create habit loops. The first one is called variable rewards. This is where unpredictable rewards skyrocket our engagement and curiosity. Just think of Discover Weekly as a giant slot machine for music. The reward is finding a brand new favorite song. But the total uncertainty of what that song will actually be, that generates excitement. It gives you a hit of dopamine. Users come back every single week looking for that surprise and delight moment, which completely bypasses the need for Spotify to run expensive re-engagement ads. The second lever they pull is the endowment effect. Basically, this is our tendency to value something way more once we feel a sense of personal ownership over it. Every single time a user saves a song or spends time building a custom playlist, they are actively investing their own labor into the product. And this creates immense emotional switching costs. Users aren't going to leave for a competitor because if they did, they'd lose years of their own personalization. All that accumulated data, that becomes Spotify's deepest, most unbreachable competitive moat.
Moving on to Section 2. The psychology of retention.
The ROI of using these psychological levers is just staggering. In qualitative studies, users literally anthropomorphize the software. Take a look at this. One user describes Spotify as an eldest sibling that knows you better than you know yourself. I mean, wow. Through collaborative filtering and analyzing audio, the system understands them so perfectly that they feel a genuine sense of intimacy and trust. And let me tell you, when your algorithm feels like a trusted family member, you have achieved a level of loyalty that money simply cannot buy.
Which brings us to Section 3. Data as brand identity.
Enter Spotify Wrapped. This is essentially the greatest annual marketing campaign in tech. It turns users into the primary marketing engine by exploiting three major psychological triggers. First up, identity expression. Sharing these graphics tells the world, hey, this is who I am. Second is FOMO, the fear of missing out. Non-users feel totally excluded from this massive cultural moment when their social feeds fill up. And third, social proof. Seeing hundreds of your friends share their data normalizes Spotify as the default platform. It creates this unbelievable viral loop that generates hundreds of millions of engagements without spending a single dollar on ads.
So what does this all mean? Well, Spotify didn't scale by boasting about the size of their library. They scaled by making every single experience feel uniquely designed for the individual. They didn't just personalize playlists, they personalized loyalty itself. The best brands don't just know what their customers buy, they understand what their customers want. If you want to turn your marketing into a growth engine and build a brand customers remember, trust, and choose, visit brandinn.online and discover how Brandinn can help your business grow.